to Two Sides One Story, where we have been answering all of the wonderful questions that you guys have been sending us. So I guess we are going to try to at least drop about 2 or 3 videos a week. So trying to keep up with that. So, and we work, like Josh said last time, we work full-time jobs. So yeah, trying to get this in. We working overtime for y'all to get these questions answered. So yeah. But anyways, so we are gonna start off with hopefully you guys can hear me. You guys know I'll be trying to invent new ways to, have this microphone on. So the first
I
question.
mean, you got it right there, titty level.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. I love both views. No, I just play. I just play.
Well, that's crazy.
All right.
Okay, so the first question that we got that we're going to answer, it says, why stay in a relationship or a marriage when you are unhappy?
Over.
So I'm going to answer that one first. It's a hard question to answer because it can be an array of reasons why people would stay in relationships because they're unhappy. I'd say first, mainly because you get comfortable with a person, and especially when you've been with that person for so many years, you're afraid to start over. Some people are afraid of being alone, and that messes with you. Like when you're trying to consider whether you want to start a new relationship with someone else or stick with the person that you got, that really does play a factor about you being comfortable in your relationship. But I will say, I don't recommend that you continue on with a relationship that does not serve you any longer. So that can be anything. I mean, from domestic violence, like I said last time, emotional abuse, um, anything that just doesn't. I don't even know where I'm going with that, because I mean, it could just be so many reasons as to why a person stays. But again, if you are finding yourself in a situation where you and that person that's supposed to be your partner, that you guys aren't partners anymore, then it's probably time for you to just go head out. And
What if you're married though? This is marriage. You can't just leave.
That's true.
Married.
Okay, so in a relationship, so let me
let's be
reframe
clear,
that.
right?
For a relationship, I would go ahead and head out. Not just that easy. I'm just saying maybe you've already gotten to the point where you have just tried every avenue, you tried every communication style. You've literally tried everything that you could and nothing's working. And if you're getting to that point in a relationship, then I don't think that it will be worth it. Now for your marriage, um even still for your marriage though. I mean, you don't want to stay somewhere where either you're unhappy or the person that you with, you make them unhappy. Like that's terrible. I mean, because at some point you guys aren't even partners anymore. You guys are just staying in the house together. They're sharing one side of the house, you're sharing the other side of the house. Who wants to live like that? What kind of marriage would that be? Now, I do recommend couples counseling though. um Go to therapy. I don't know what that is in the Black community where people don't be wanting to go to therapy, but I absolutely think therapy is great. And I really think that if you're feeling like that you love this person and you want to try and make it work, see if that person may be open to therapy, going to therapy. What do you think? That's a tough one.
It's tricky because I mean, who wants to stay somewhere where repeat the question again?
Why stay somewhere that where you're unhappy? Like, why stay in a relationship or why stay in a marriage where you're just completely unhappy? Nothing that this person and again, that's not to say that somebody's supposed to make you happy. Like you're supposed to be happy by yourself. Like again, that person is supposed to compliment you. So not necessarily just unhappy, but just in a relationship where um it's just not working. What do you do?
Right. Well, I mean, you shouldn't stay anywhere where you're unhappy to the point where you're considering breakup or divorce or whatever the situation is. But it come a point where you got to make a tough decision for yourself and your well-being. I mean, most people, like Mo said, most people stay in situations and situationships because they don't want to be alone. They don't want to start over. They feel like, oh, we got kids, so they suffer through a lot of stuff. And I feel like that at the end of the day, like yeah, that could be some good reasons why, but you're also hurting yourself in the long run. So me personally, if it got to a point where I just couldn't take it no more, then that's when those tough decisions need to be made. But as far as you're just in a relationship and you're getting misused and mistreated and you're not in married or anything, I feel like that's an easier decision for you to get up out of Dodge where there's no kids involved and stuff like that. So I figure, but that's a tricky one because I mean, most people tolerance for stuff is much more lenient than others. So I mean, they could tolerate more than others. So it depends on your tolerance and if you feel like it's worth fighting for. So I mean, that's pretty much the answer I got on that. I
Yeah,
mean,
that one was a tough one.
yeah,
That
because
one
it's
was.
kind of like your
It's a lot of moving.
preference.
It's a lot of
Yeah, it's kind of
moving
like
pieces to that
okay, if
because
we
everybody's
yeah,
different, and
yeah.
like
So
Jay said, everybody's threshold is
right,
different.
right.
So yeah. So moving on. So our next question is, how do you guys cope? Um, like how do we cope when we get into like a big argument, and then what changes have we made to adjust, like moving forward?
I mean, I feel like we pretty much touched on this in a previous video. I mean, us. I mean, we go through the situation. Of course, we argue back and forth on the phone where there's no communication, and we feel like nobody's listening or whatever. But so we get to a point where we compromise and we do the texting thing, and we text and we cooler heads prevail, and we're not so mad no more. We got time to cool down. We're not listening to each other yell. So it's like, okay, well, we got time to think. So that's how we handle ours. We text, of course it's not the same day because when you mad, you mad. Ain't nobody gonna tell you nothing. So
Right.
I let a day or two pass, text or call or face to face, whatever. And I feel like, it comes a time where you just gotta be an adult, Like she said, nobody wants to walk around the house mad all day or sleep in separate rooms, because I'll be damned if I don't sleep in my bed every night. Shit, the
And I'm
bed
paying
I
the
ride,
bills, right?
shit. Yeah, I ain't that mad. Shit, that couch is not comfortable. So all that couch shit niggas be doing, I mean, I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, man up and get back in your bed. I mean, fix that shit quick, man, before it escalates to the point where people want to step outside of relationships and do all that other stuff. Because all it takes is one person to say some slick shit and get your juices flowing, and you feel like you want to step out or something. So, I mean, I ain't saying that necessarily leads to that, but I mean, you never know if that other person is at that breaking point where they feel like they want to, or they so vulnerable and so mad that one night out with the girls turned into you leaving with some money or whatever the case may be. So
And doing something
yeah.
stupid.
And what was the other part?
What changes do we make to adjust moving forward?
Changes. Well, try not to let it happen again. And as hard as that sounds, I mean, it's possible. I mean, like I said, most of our arguments is about stupid stuff, little stuff. I wouldn't say stupid, little stuff that could be talked about before it escalates and gets heated up to the point where we're hollering over each other, arguing back and forth. So I feel like, once again, communication and compromise is definitely the
Top two.
main two things that you need to survive whatever storm you're going through, and that should be able to weather that. So
And so for me, um, how do we cope when we get into a big argument? Again, we do take some time. um, to gather our thoughts. When me and Jay first got together, our argument styles were two totally different things. So he was the type of person who, when we get into an argument, when he asks me to leave him alone, he's really saying like, leave me alone. Like, I'm not in the mood. I don't want to talk about this right now. Um, but at that time, I was more of a like, no, but we need to talk about it like now. Because if we don't talk about it now and we just let it linger over, it's going to be a problem. And so we would butt heads a lot with that because it would turn into something bigger, you know, because Josh was like, I don't want to talk about it. I want to talk about it. And I'm like, but I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it. So we used to clash so much. So for me personally, what I had to learn was if he's saying, you know what, just leave it alone. As much as I would not like to leave it alone, because I know we're probably gonna be walking around mad or whatever. Sometimes I just have to bite the bullet and just be like, okay, you know what, let me just give him some time to just cool down, and then we can revisit this at another time. Like, he's not going nowhere. So there's no rush for us to have this conversation. And then I believe when we've had time to really think about the things that we said and things that we've done, then that's when we come back to the table and we be like, okay, well, how can we fix this? Like, how can we do better moving forward so that we don't run into this problem again? Now, I will say this though. I'm not saying that we go through something and then immediately that's just the end of it, because that's just not how it works. I'd say that these conversations would be endless. We're forever growing, we're forever changing. Things are always changing, between us. I mean, anybody, any couple, as you get older, your goals, your aspirations, things like that change. So you're constantly trying to pull on each other, like, oh, I'm trying to do this. Oh, you're trying to do. So we're always constantly changing. So, and I think in those growing pains, we may run into those little small little issues of things. But again, how we do better moving forward is we come to the table, we say, you know what? Again, I don't like the way you said that. Oh, I didn't like the way you talked to me. I don't like the way you said that. And then we try and do better moving forward. So, all right. Now, this one, this is a question I really liked. What are our deal breakers? Like when it comes to a relationship, what are our deal breakers? You want to go first?
I mean, we pretty much gonna say the same thing. So, I mean, I'll let you do this one though. It's pretty much gonna be the
Cheaters.
same answer, right? Infidelity.
We hate cheaters and we hate liars. Now that is just for the two of us. So when we first got together, that was off the bat. Like when we was doing our little initial waiting period, and we were talking about the things that we like and we don't like, cheaters was absolutely at the top of the list. And cheaters was like, that is literally like a deal breaker for the both of us. And we consider cheating. You could be texting somebody and you emotionally cheating.
Right.
So that is like one of our biggest things. That is like a line that we just don't cross. And I think because we set those ground rules very, very early on in our relationship, like when we were just dating, like it just really set the, you know what I'm saying? Like it really set the tone for how our marriage is. Like we don't even I don't even play around like that at all. So is that the same for you, Jay?
Ditto. Right.
That's why those conversations, when you guys are first, when you meet somebody and you guys are getting to know each other, like those should be questions that you're asking them. Like, what are deal breakers for you? Like, what are lines that you just won't cross?
So you guys could know, like, okay,
What you walking into?
I know if I'm willing to do this, I'm willing to risk it all.
And
So
be
I
done
mean,
with this.
because you know how some people cheat and oh, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. I mean, the way we was making that a priority in the beginning of our relationship. I mean, I not to say we probably couldn't, but it'll be tough because we already knew what we were signing ourselves up for when we got into it and what we talked about. So
And you would know that after you do this, that you would be risking
I'm
losing your
I'm
spouse.
not saying it's a deal breaker for everybody.
Right. Because some people can't go
Some
through
people
it.
can't get through it, but I feel like that's a
It's hard
big step, knowing and visualizing and thinking about your spouse with
being
somebody
with
else.
somebody
Yeah,
else.
it's kind of
Yeah,
tough.
I think that's a big
So yeah,
thing. This one, next question. How do you build trust back in your spouse after something has created a rift in your relationship?
I mean, I feel like that's easy depending on what kind of trust you lost. I mean, if it's something, I mean, well, for us, if it's not infidelity, I feel like we could get through it. I feel like we could get through pretty much everything else.
But I feel like we good
Whether it's,
partners though.
yeah, well, you also have to be,
You gotta be a team player, dude.
yeah,
Like
you got to be willing to compromise. I mean, I'm gonna keep throwing that word out. I mean, because it's very important. So I mean, I feel like gaining trust back. I mean, as far as what? I mean, like because
what
I
I
mean,
mean,
I'm always trust her with everything. So I mean, like I said, in our relationship, she handles the financial stuff. All I do is send her the money. So I trust her with that, and I trust her
those
to
bills gonna
know
get
that
paid
them
on
bills gonna
time.
get paid on time. And we ain't never been late on nothing. The 11 years we've been together, we ain't never been late on nothing. And this nigga like to pay the whole bill.
I do
So some
because I
people,
don't like to be. I don't.
the
I don't
way
like
I,
to be on
the
nobody.
way I grew up, moms used to how how much I gotta pay to keep this motherfucker home. This nigga paid a whole bill every time, so that's what whatever the bill is, paid in full the whole time.
And that's what I'm
So
saying. And that's another reason
that's what we
why
so
we're just really good partners. And I think that's one
uh,
of our questions. So we might as well just answer it
uh,
while we're here. Did I answer that? Oh, well, you know what, before we get there, how I would handle a rift in our relationship, same way. Um, we literally, when it comes to things that we just don't agree on, again, Josh is really good at that because I can go on and on and on and on. I can talk, and Josh be like, "Hey, look, this conversation is not going anywhere. You're not going to change how I'm feeling. Obviously, I'm not going to change how you feeling. So let's just agree to disagree." And I can say within like the last maybe like 3 or 4 years, like he's picked up on that, and I think that does help us out a
save a lot of
lot,
time and save that little argument from turning into one of
a
them
big
blow ups
one,
that we get.
because he'd be like, "Nah,
Because you're
we're
not
not
gonna
even
change my
gonna do
mind.
it.
I don't care how you put it,
We're not
how
even gonna
sweet you
do
try
it.
to say it, or whatever the case may be. You're
We're
not
not
gonna
even gonna
change
do it."
how I'm feeling about the situation. Ain't nothing you could do. It's not you. It's just how I'm feeling.
Right. And sometimes as women, I know that's hard because we just need them to see it our way because I know my way is better. But sometimes you got to realize that sometimes you can be wrong, and that's okay. It's okay that you're wrong. That's fine. But in those moments where you are wrong, you should apologize. Apologies are really important. I think we talked about that in our last episode. So now this second to last question says, oh no, this is the last question. How do you handle finances in your marriage? And
Just spoke on it. I don't.
and
How much you need?
I
How
say
much you need?
for relationships,
That works for us.
you have to find what your strong suit is. For me, it's keeping the finances. For me, and a lot of my married friends, a lot of my homegirls that I talk to, that I deal with, that is just what we do. What we do. We are good at being organized. We're good at
Before you finish, you don't want your husband paying no bill.
you know,
Unless he
because he gonna forget, and your
unless he
lights gonna
good
get
at
cut
that,
off.
or he got a computer in his brain. The game come on or something. We forget we ain't paid the light bill. Motherfucking TV turn off,
And he gonna
pitch
be like,
black.
"Oh
Oh,
man."
so it's always gonna get paid. If I mean it don't work for everybody, and I'm sure it's some men that handle the finances and vice versa. But the way we do it, how much you need, send it, boom. I know it's gonna get paid. I know it ain't never gonna be late. I mean,
And I trust, and I
that's how it
trust,
is.
and I trust him. See, because I don't have to worry about whether or not he's going to give me the money. I don't care if his check is late, or maybe somebody didn't put his hours in all the way. He's still going to make sure that he gives me what I need so I can make sure that I can take care of the house. And that goes vice versa though. So when he's out in the yard, I'm out in the yard. He's mowing the lawn, I'm outside sweeping. I know our neighbors be like, what the hell do they be over there doing?
Yeah,
But
gotta get up and cut that shit in the morning.
when he's outside, I'm outside. He needs help doing something. He need me to hold an Allen wrench or something, whatever them things is. He need me to hold something.
They don't know no Allen wrench is.
He need me to hold some pliers or something. I'm out there holding it. He needs some help. I'm doing it because my thing is he just, I mean, he really does take care of home. So I will say that I'm very appreciative of that, and I'm very very happy that you know, I can count on him. Now, some things that he be like, all right, Monica, look, I ain't no damn electrician. I can't do
that. I don't do electricity.
So you're gonna have to call somebody
that's
out
one
for that
thing I'll put my foot down. I ain't doing no damn electricity.
You're gonna have to call somebody
everything else, I mean, it ain't nothing YouTube won't show you how to do.
Right. So we do try and figure it out. And again, like I said, yes, you marry somebody because you love them. I love this man down. You understand? But I also married him because he makes a good partner, and I don't have to worry about him because I know if there's any situation, if there's any problem, he's gonna be like, "Hey, baby, my check is short. I'm gonna need you to, you know, throw in a little extra or something, or we get home." And I'd be like, "Babe, you know what? I am literally at a 2 right now. Like I can't give you anything. I can't give the kid anything. The kids anything. Like I am beat." And he'd be like, "All right, I got it." And he handle it. He makes sure everything is good. He makes sure everybody in the bed while I'm in here probably knocked out sleep. So it really matters that you find a partner because you're gonna be with them forever. I mean, you know, your looks is gonna fade. You know, you're not gonna always be this perky, you know, person, you know, and you have to be able to stick it out with your person. And I do believe that he's my person, and he stuck with me forever. But yeah, but that is it, guys, for us. So,
that's it. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell,
and keep them questions.
And keep the questions coming. And we're gonna try to go live for y'all soon. So we
trying to figure it
go
out.
live. We trying to see. I mean, if we go live, are y'all gonna interact?
Are y'all gonna come show up?
Because you know it's discouraging. You go live
and on 3 people in the
one
room,
person in there. It's like
our three regulars. They know who they are when they watch this video.
So let us know in the comments. You know, more questions. Let us know how y'all feel about us going live, and we'll see y'all on the next one. We out.